Well, it's all settled then. 13 yards of the white satin at $1.20 the yard. And the brass coffin handles.
Well, all right, write it up. Stop frowning at me like that. What's the matter with you?
Well, it's just that, well, a person shouldn't think about dying so much. I don't want you to die.
Oh, bless you for that. Seems everyone else can't wait.
I'm not supposed to talk about my father at home, but I guess it's all right here. My father used to say, a person should think about living.
Why don't you go outside and play?
Hush up. I want to hear what she has to say.
Yes, Miss Snow, yes.
It just reminded me about my father and the doll. You see, I always wanted a doll, but we never had enough money for things like that. My father was a minister.
But surely he could afford a little thing like a doll.
Well, he couldn't. We had to have the money for food.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Shh.
So anyway, my father wrote to the missionary people and asked them to please send a little second-hand doll. Well, there was a funny mistake. When the missionary barrels came, instead of a doll, they sent a pair of crutches. Well, of course, I was rather disappointed, so my father made up the glad game.
The what game?
She's been pestering folks all over town with this sunshine and happiness thing. Hearts and flowers, enough to make you sick.
Hush up. I want to hear it.
Certainly.
Anyway, about the crutches, my father said, don't let's be gloomy, let's try and find something to be glad about. So we made a game of it, the glad game.
The glad game.
So anyway, we played the game, and after a while, I forgot about the doll and being gloomy. And you know what? I found a reason for being glad.
Well, there's nothing happy about a pair of crutches.
Well, we were glad that we didn't have to use them.
Why must you bedevil this poor dying woman with your childish, silly little stories?
I just thought you could play the game. You could be glad you don't need this horrid old coffin. You could help others by making the patchwork quilt for the orphans if you wanted. You ought to forget about dying and be glad you're living. Oh, I don't care what you do. I'm not going to come and see you anymore.
I didn't mean to hurt her feelings. She's serious about it, isn't she?
Oh, please, Mr. Merg, leave me alone.
I'm sorry if I've...
Please leave me alone.
Ben told me yesterday they've been organizing. About 50